Today I'm sharing 5 things I've stopped doing to help with my anxiety. I know how many of us go through anxiety on so many different levels, and so today I hope these tips help you out. One of the biggest things that I've taken out of my day-to-day routine is a caffeinated cup of coffee. What I found to do is to replace it with decaf. I noticed there was a correlation between how much caffeine I'd have and how I'd be feeling in the day, and it did not feel good. I've tried eliminating this out on certain days, and I noticed there is a big difference in how I feel with my heart rate and just how I get around that 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. mark. I definitely found myself being a lot more anxious when I did have caffeine on those specific days. This also goes for certain types of alcohol. I noticed that I feel more anxious with like certain types of red wine. I'll even find a correlation with, interestingly enough. So I would just pay attention to your body with certain maybe foods or alcohol or caffeine. If that makes you feel a certain way, consider omitting it from your lifestyle. Getting off social media, especially at nighttime. This has worked wonders for me. Very hard to do, to not sit in bed and just scroll through Instagram mindlessly, but that's the thing, it can be mindlessly. I find myself going down a rabbit hole and starting to just feel down for no reason, and it's really alarming to me that I can let myself feel that way and not even know why. Or just have this time suck where I'm looking on social media, comparing my life and, thinking their lives are so much better. And me as a social media person knows exactly that's not true. We only put out the best versions of ourselves. I also like to include in this little tidbit that also the news, looking at really scandalous news headlines, just stay off Daily Mail at all possible. I gave that up. And honestly, I've noticed a correlation of just not reading all these horrible headlines of tragedies and all these things filling in your head. You can really create versions of it in your head, or what if this happens to me? Being smart about the information you're taking in and not just mindlessly reading tragedy porn, as a lack of a better term. Read positive headlines, read things you like to learn about, and just focus your time more there. Just highly recommend making the switch, maybe monitoring what you look at and reevaluating what your news resources are. Actually, tip 2 is a great layup for tip 3. And another thing to stop doing is stop procrastinating. And I have a huge task to do. I don't like to do it the first thing. I like to cross off all my other little to-dos in the day on my to-do list, my cute little pens. So that big to-do is sitting on the list and just staring me in the face all day. And I found myself for so long just putting it off, and it adds this anxiety, and it's just looming all over your day. It's unnecessary stress. When you know you have to do it anyways, bump that up to the first task in your day. Just get it out of the way and don't even fret about it. Just get it over with and you'll feel so much better. I notice that my anxiety goes up more if I have not addressed that big old task that is just staring me down. If you get out of the way, it silences that noise and you don't have these anxious thoughts anymore of like how much time you have left and all that. And also I want to ask for you guys, if you guys have any things that you do to cope with your anxiety, or if you guys deal with it, I'd love to hear in the comment section below of how you like to cope with it, and maybe we can all share with each other in the comment section below. The 4th one is the obvious one, but has really transformed my lifestyle and my mentality, and it is to not be sedentary. If you're sedentary, whether it's in your day working, and if you have a 9-to-5 at a desk job, I totally understand that. But if you are sedentary all day at home, on the couch, or at your desk job, and then you do it all night sitting on the couch in front of the TV, you're never moving your body around, getting those endorphins pumping. It will actually have an effect on my psyche if I don't feel like I'm getting any exercise. It doesn't have to be go to a really hard fitness class. It's literally just getting outside, getting fresh air, going on a 10-minute walk. I have a dog, so that's a bonus thing. He really does help me with anxiety too. But walking the dog, like just getting some blood circulation will really help send signals to your brain that's like, hey, like you're not so pent up in your own body. And that also kind of ties into being busy. Just stay busy, whether that's on your feet, keeping your mind distracted, keep everything moving. And I feel like the more you do that, the less you'll be in your own head and have all these like self-doubt thoughts that come in and creep in when we're kind of not doing anything. Whatever it is, just don't be sedentary, because that's when I find that I feel very anxious and will find all the self-doubt thoughts creeping in. Okay, so now you guys know I'm a procrastinator. And now for the 5th tip, I'm going to say I'm also a pretty messy gal. I am definitely the messy one out of the relationship. Tommy can definitely attest to that. But I have found that the messier I am, the more anxiety I have. The mess that I allow to be in my room, because so much of your space is a reflection of your headspace as well. So if your space is clean, you're able to think clean and think organized, and it's so true. It doesn't come naturally for me to be super organized, but I have trained myself and I have reaped the benefits. So I do find myself keeping it up because of that. So those are 5 things that I would suggest stop doing to lessen the anxiety. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying, you know, this is going to fix all your, I still have anxiety, struggle with it. And, you know, I have to put my best foot forward and do what I can every day. So I just thought sharing these 5 things have helped me significantly in my day-to-day life. And I hope it helps you out there. Again, if you're new to my channel, make sure you consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you see more videos from me in your inbox. Thank you all so much for joining me. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.